Side chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to our live stream. It's been a minute since George and I have had one, so thank you guys for popping in and tuning in and hanging out with us for a little bit. Hopefully, we get some of you in there having a beer with us. But so obviously, most of you guys that are probably in the side chat know that we have this charity effort going on this year for Tunnel to Towers, and we're doing the big event in July. And we currently have a raffle going on for the free stay at the Iron Horse Inn out in Sturgis this year during the rally. And tonight we have special guests. The owners of the Iron Horse Inn are here to hang out with us and talk about their place, talk about the rally, and just whatever else you guys, any questions you guys might have for them. So I don't want to, leave them in the back room. So no further ado, you want to bring them in. We have Andi and Greg, owners of the Iron Horse Inn. How you guys doing?
Really good. How are you guys?
We are fantastic. So just so everyone knows, there's a little bit of occasional lag with theirs, but we're just going to work through it. I mean, they live out in the middle of nowhere. What do you expect?
Yeah, they live where we want to live.
You want to live. I don't live in the cold.
No?
So how are you guys? How's it going?
We're doing great. Been very temperate winter, riding weather pretty regular, which is great.
Nice.
Thankfully, a lot of the municipalities out here know there's a lot of local motorcyclists. They do a good job of cleaning off the roads, keeping things safe. So we're doing great, gearing up for summer.
Very nice. Yeah, I bet. So unless you got something else, I just want to kind of dive right in. I know you guys have talked about this on a couple other people's shows, but for our audience, I just wanted to kind of just dive right into how you guys ended up owning the Iron Horse Inn.
Sure. So the Iron Inn was built 20 years ago, approximately 20 years ago. And the person or the people who had initially built it, it ended up being owned by a bank. The loan went bad. So, and my husband at that time worked for the bank that owned the property. And as employees of the bank, you were able to go and get rooms for the rally at a very, very cheap price. And they were really only open for about those 3 weeks around the rally just to recoup some of the loss that they had. So what had happened is Greg and I and, our friends and family, we would go and partake in the rally festivities. And one year we decided to take my father with us to the rally as well as to the motel. And he was sitting outside our room and drinking coffee, and he's just looking around, at the scenery, and says to us, "I think I'm going to own this place someday." And Greg and I, most likely pretty hungover from the night before, just kind of blew it off and were like, "Okay, whatever, sure." You keep dreaming, Frank. But anyhow, about a year and a half, 2 years later, he and his brother and sister and mother and father, they had a family business, and they ended up purchasing the Iron Horse Inn. So, and that was, it'll be 10 years ago this year.
In September. Yep.
Wow.
So the rally would be 10 years ago that they purchased it.
So they owned it as a group. My father ended up buying the rest of his family out in 2019, 18 or 19. And then he decided that he wanted to begin the process of retirement. And when he was talking about that, he was like, well, it's a family business. So it's either you kind of pass it on, but you have to have somebody who's interested in doing the work, or you put it up for sale. And Greg and I had a lot of discussion, about what that would mean if we were to take this on, what that would mean to our lifestyle, because historically I was a nurse, but I was in management. So I was in the healthcare field for a long time. Greg was in the banking industry for a long time. So obviously switching directions would have a huge impact on us, both our lifestyle and everything. But we opted to go forward, and we started that process in 2021. So this will be our third year of being involved. And it's kind of interesting to have lived and seen this process of how we loved going there and we were customers or guests and we enjoyed our time there, and now being able to be the owners of it and to be able to provide a great experience for the people who come and stay with us.
Nice. Very cool.
It's pretty cool, man.
That is cool.
And it's fun
Switching
to
gears.
have with folks too, because we don't want them to think we just came out of nowhere and the property didn't really have any meaning to us. We were there I was there for 7 years before Andy's family purchased it, and Andy was there for 5. So when you can say you've been at the same place for 17 years straight, going to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, that was a choice that we had prior to even being involved in it, because we enjoy being there. So that made the decision easier for us.
Okay. So we didn't warn you guys before we went live that we like to try to interact with the side chat as much as possible. So if we cut you off to answer somebody or say something in the side chat, I apologize. What do we got in the side chat, George?
We got Droop. Droop is here. Jason Busey was first comment, but not first in. Droop was actually first in.
But I think that was from like 2 days ago. Droop got in there. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Flipping the Blue Mule. Corey's here. Cruise for Brews was in. Goofy Bastard, Motor Mortician, and Mandy the Machine.
What's up, Mandy?
Bells rides aboard Sea Boss. She's speaking of life changes. She's gone.
Did they actually buy the boat?
I think they bought the boat.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they went from fifth wheel life, Class A life, to now some boat life. And Harley Pimp 420 V-Rodder.
Saw the ladies in there.
Harley Pimp says Sturgis is a dream destination.
Absolutely. So listen, guys, while we're chatting with Greg and Andy, if you guys have any questions about out there, anything, just hit it up in there and we'll address it with them. We have some stuff for them. Cut it out. Yeah. So what made you guys, or how did you come about the idea of getting involved with us and offering up the free rooms?
Well, I'll take this. So we have had, I guess, a long-standing tradition in both of our families of having family members that were either military or first responders. So that's something we've always felt very strongly that is our duty to support those folks. We do a lot of work with our local Combat Vets Motorcycle Association here in Western South Dakota. A lot of our friends are law enforcement, firefighters, and to us, anytime we can be involved in giving back, especially with it's something that we can tie into one of our passions, which is motorcycling and the Sturgis Rally, we're gonna take that opportunity anytime we can. We were lucky enough to meet you guys on a joint podcast with some other friends that we have in common, and to us, if anytime we can get involved in that, we're gonna do that.
Cool.
It's a great thing about like the motorcycle social media community. I mean, here on a 5 Dirty Bikers podcast that, Dustin was like, hey, you guys mind hopping on the podcast tonight? We never would have met them.
No. And that was, I'm pretty sure Monkey was supposed to be on that one, but he couldn't. So that we like kind of filled in. So just like lucky, real lucky.
V-Rodder says we're freezing up.
I don't know how we're freezing up. I mean, I don't know.
That's weird.
I think V-Rodder probably has dial-up.
That's what the problem is.
If I could a shout out to Motor Mortician, Mark, glad you're here, man. Fortunately, we probably won't get to see you this summer, but we appreciate you coming on. Mark's our buddy. Motor Mortician's our buddy. So
he's stayed at your place, hasn't he?
He is not.
No, we met him in Louisville last summer.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. There's somebody on one of our lives that was saying that they stayed at your place and they really liked it. I can't remember who it was now. But yeah.
Well, whoever it was, and we hope to come back.
Exactly. So tell us about the motel, like what, some of the details, some of the stats, like how many rooms you got, stuff like that. Like why should somebody come stay there?
All right. Well, it's 14 acres, first of all. So it's a very large property. On that 14 acres sits a storage area, 8 buildings. We call them 4 buildings. Each building, what we call a building, consists of 2 actual buildings, and then a bar, restaurant, and then a home sits on the property. So there's a lot there. The rooms, there's 194 motel rooms.
Wow.
They are built like a motel, so you drive up to your door versus a hotel where you haul all your stuff in and find your room, so on and so forth. But what's really cool about it is that it was built for motorcycling. It was built for people who come to the Sturgis Rally. And if you have 2 of the room or 2 embankments of the rooms together or buildings together, they form a peak. They don't actually join at the top of them because that would be a fire hazard, but they create an overhang. So what we call a tunnel, you can park your motorcycle in the tunnel right up to your door. And in the inevitable elements that we have during the summer here, hail, rain, whatever, your bike can be protected from that. Because we have such a large area, we are able to accommodate a lot of trailers, people bring, different vehicles, different things like that. So we have no issues accommodating a lot of different, however you choose to show up to the rally or to the Black Hills. We do have a bar and restaurant on site. We serve, it's a full bar, so liquor, beer, everything, mostly craft beer, to be completely frank. And then also we make fresh made pizzas. So we hand press our dough in the kitchen, made to order. Everything is pretty darn tasty when it comes out of the kitchen.
And if you're here during the rally, the bar restaurant's open from 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day. And we're basically, we're closed that window because of South Dakota liquor service laws. And at some point we actually have to clean the place. And we do breakfast buffet every single morning during the rally. And that way the kitchen staff can get in there about an hour and a half early and get everything prepped up.
The one thing that I will say about our rooms, for the people who have been there and for those who have intentions of coming to the rally and potentially staying with us, our rooms are simple. We believe that if you're going to come all this way and you're going to be in the Black Hills, you should not be sitting in your room. So you're not going to have all of the amenities that you find at the Hilton. You're going to have a comfortable bed. It's going to be a very clean room, a place to shower, a place to sleep. But the expectation is you get up in the morning and you go and enjoy your day in the Black Hills. So, and because of that, we're able to keep our prices lower than a lot of other places here in the hills. And we're centrally located. So if you look on a map, we're about 6 miles from, about 10 miles from Spearfish, and about 12 miles from Lead Deadwood. So we're in a great location in the Northern Hills.
Nice. So, a question in the side chat?
We have one question here from V Rodder. I will put it up. It says, do you have unloading ramps?
We do not, but you do not need them because of our elevation. We sit on the side of a hill. So there's about 10 different places I could put you in that you could back up a trailer and just put the tailgate down or the back of a truck and unload it straight off the side of the hill. So,
okay.
And if you're not comfortable with that, there are places that we're friendly with in both Sturgis and Spearfish that if you'd prefer to go there, I can call them and I'm sure they'll let you unload there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's another question from Jason Busey, part of the Brew Crew. So if someone was to say work remotely from the rally.
This is a great question. So yes, we have Wi-Fi. Is it going to be the best Wi-Fi in the world? Probably not. And the reason for that is if you've ever been to Sturgis, you know that we go from approximately 5,000 people to all of a sudden about 500,000 people. And we just do not have the capacity to have incredible Wi-Fi for that number of people at any given time.
Yeah.
Now, if you get up really early in the morning and you want to do a couple hours of work, you're probably going to be better off than say like at 3:00 when everybody comes back from riding during the day and everybody's on their phones checking, emails or whatever. So the answer is yes. However, it's not going to be perfect. It could be spotty.
Yeah, and that's not an us problem. That's an everywhere out here problem. Like Andy said, just the infrastructure doesn't exist for that many people. There's actually a community outside of Deadwood that has actually sued Verizon Corporation because they're supposed to have coverage there. And outside some of the houses, they have signs that say, "Can you hear me now?" as a joke.
Wow.
I
feel that way in my house with Verizon sometimes. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, for real.
So
and he's coming back this year on the Thursday of the rally. Kid Rock played at the Buffalo Chip 2 years ago, and they think there was probably between 75 and 80,000 people in the field. So you just get spots that, unfortunately, we don't have the infrastructure to have. You can take pictures, but whether or not you're getting them anywhere, for a while, if you're emailing, texting works a little bit better, but it's unfortunately just something we can't overcome because of what the infrastructure is.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I have another quick question here from Stan Warner, but before we go further, I want to post a link here for you to win a chance to get one of these rooms. Well, get two of these rooms. And be sure when you click this link that you, how many times have we said it? Put your name, not anonymous. Put your name down. $20 gets you a chance. $60 gets you 3 chances. So there's no limit on the amount of chances you can buy. And this is set up directly on our Tunnel to Towers donate page. So this isn't coming to us. It's not going to Iron Horse. It's going directly to Tunnel to Towers.
Yeah.
And there is the link in the chat. So click that link, $20. Put Iron Horse in the comment. Put your name. Make sure we have your real name. And
so let me ask you,
how you win.
Are you guys completely booked up for Sturgis this year?
We are not as of right now, which is pretty typical this time of year. What we see is there's always a pattern in everything that we see. So when people start getting their taxes done, that is when they make some decisions about what they're going to do. So we have been receiving a lot more phone calls over the last couple of weeks, and part of it is that. Not a bad thing necessarily, but we do expect this year to maybe be a little bit slower. And the reason why is because next year is the 85th. And so we've always seen that there's been a little bit of lower numbers the year before one of the big 5 years. So we do still have rooms. As of right now, I think I looked, we're about 75-80% full. So that's a lot of rooms when you think about it, when you have 194, but we still do have rooms available for the full week or a portion of the week, whichever you choose.
Okay.
So to answer your question, Stan, book soon because those tax checks are going to be coming in.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't have the funds to pay for it, well, pop $20 into our link and you get a chance to get 3 nights for free.
$20 is $20.
That's right. What else you got in the side chat?
Do you have complimentary breakfast? Does it include? So it doesn't sound like complimentary breakfast, but it sounds like a buffet.
Yep, we do have to pay for that in addition if that's what you choose. But I will tell you what, one of the big benefits that we do include when you stay with us is we have a shuttle that takes you to downtown Sturgis and back. And that is something that a lot of the people that stay with us love because we're a little bit out of city limits and our location. They really love that they can get a good night's sleep. There's not a lot of chaos. It's not a lot of craziness. The bar is separate from all of the rooms, so you can actually get a good night's sleep. But if you choose to go downtown and you want to explore downtown Sturgis at night, you don't have to ride your motorcycle. You can get down there, you can have as much fun as you want and come back. The bus runs from 2:00 in the afternoon until 1 in the morning. So that's included with the price of your room. The service that we use is actually a company that you normally have to buy a wristband to ride their buses, but we've opted to have that as part of our stay, just as a benefit for our customers.
Nice.
So
Go ahead.
And it's really simple. So the entire time we privately contracted, it's bus number 7. So anybody that stays with us repetitively knows exactly what the bus number is, never changes. It does not stop anywhere other than our hotel and downtown Sturgis. Yeah. It leaves our hotel on even number hours starting at 2 in the afternoon, going till midnight, comes back on odd hours starting at 3 till 1:00 in the morning. So basically you can stay there, within an hour of bar close in downtown Sturgis and still get back safe.
Nice.
One of the things I always try to tell people every year, I miss some people, somebody gets whacked. You cannot leave your bike in Sturgis on Main Street or any of the streets where the rally is overnight. They will tow you. It will cost you in the neighborhood of $400+ to get it back. And justifiably, the city does that. It's the only way they can clean the streets and get garbage out. Is if they have that kind of time period from 2 to 7 in the morning. But inevitably, if somebody leaves a bike down there, tries to go get it the next day, can't find it, thinks it got stolen. Nope, you probably got towed. Here's the 2 towing companies, call them. Somebody has it.
Yeah. I think all the people that get towed from down there, none of them watch YouTube because just about anybody that talks about Sturgis on YouTube says the same exact thing. Like they tell everybody you can't leave your bike there overnight.
You can't leave your bike there overnight. And I feel like when you go down someplace that you shouldn't be parking, you kind of know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear where you can park, where you can't park. And if you want to roll the dice,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching a somebody's live stream from down there last year during the day, and they were filming. It was live, and the cops were all there, and there was a big group of bikes that were clearly like parked in like a. It was clearly marked that it was like a no parking area, right? I think it might have had like stripes on the road or something, but there all this big group of bikes were there, and the guy was just like holding his camera up, doing his live stream as the tow trucks were just backing in, and then like a couple people ran in and tried to move somebody's bike for him, like as the tow truck was trying to get it. Like it's funny, man. It's like it's not hard to see where you're allowed to park and where you're not allowed to park, and people are just dumb.
Yeah, and considering it's basically a 4 rack, right? You got 2 lanes on each side of the street going all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for that.
Yeah. It's so a couple of comments here from Bagger Bader. He says, I first learned here. Says, yep. I first learned of the Iron Horse Inn on Google Earth, which is like, were you searching Google Earth, like trying to find like.
Might need a hobby, buddy.
The air, right?
Great location off of 90, close to Sturgis and Deadwood. So it sounds like you guys are in a great spot.
I love where we're located. I mean, if you've ever been here or if you ever want to come, getting to Devil's Tower, Van Knocker Canyon, Spearfish Canyon, up to Deadwood, we are so easy on, easy off to all of those rides, which are some of the best rides in the hills. So I can't say it enough. Like this whole situation of how we ended up, being a part of this business and owning this business is really just, sometimes I have to pinch myself and say, how did this happen? But some low, thank God, I guess.
Yeah. And beautiful rides. You can hop on 385, get down to Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Custer State Park, Hill City, Keystone. It's just easy access and going that way. A lot of the routes we have and places you can go, you can staff the interstate as well. I know some people just hate those, probably justified wherever they live because it's probably ridiculous. If you're not here during the rally, you probably wouldn't even notice if you're on the interstate, but different populations usually.
Yeah. You guys manage to stay busy like all summer, like even when the rally's not going on?
So it's getting to be more and more so all the time. One of my goals when I came on was to really to focus on being a motorcycle destination all summer long, and also for motorcycling groups, because people travel in groups and they want to stay together. They want to have a place that's, they're all kind of in a row as far as their rooms, and they have a place to gather every night and have some drinks and not have to worry about what they're doing after a great ride. So I've done a lot of work on reaching out and getting our name out there as a event, so to speak, destination. And we have, over the last few years, really created relationships with some motorcycle groups, friends, whatever you want to call them, that come and see us every dang year. And that has just been awesome.
That's cool. That's very cool. I would think that you guys, or just that area in general, would be busy in the summer for bikes, because I mean, we see like all the videos we do about Sturgis, we get a million comments about how people want to come ride there, but they don't want to be there during the rally. So you would think that you get a lot of motorcyclists out there during the rest of the summer.
And we tell people the same thing. We're blessed. We live here year round. I mean, like Greg said, there was last week or the week before, we had a 70-degree day, and you would have been shocked with the number of motorcycles, out and about in January. But we want to, I guess, for lack of better words, we really want to be the motorcycle destination. There's no better place to come and ride and be. And if you want to have a place where you can see it all, I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm really proud of the fact that we are that place.
Nice.
Yeah, and to plug local businesses. Unfortunately, the vast majority of the large bars in Sturgis are not locally owned. They're outside owners, and if even in the summer, if you come here, the seasonal fun bars, restaurants, rides, they're going to be excellent anytime during the summer months. I get it. People want to go to Full Throttle, One-Eyed Jacks. It's part of the experience, right? If you're here and want to see some of the party, go for it. But those folks they're not the company that's sponsoring little league teams, doing stuff for the elementary schools. So, if you want to come here and this is a bucket list riding destination, and you're not big on people and you don't want that many bikes, just come some other time during the summer and you'll get pretty much everything you would anyway.
Oh yeah.
So V-Rider, Luis Rosario, just
thank you, sir.
He's got his chance in the bucket. And back in, it was 2020, right? So we were following, the Sturgis activities very close in 2020. And
COVID year.
Yeah, the COVID year. And I was I'm still like following one of like the town's Facebook pages, because we were getting like the meeting updates, and the town was having the meetings and all that.
Check some.
And you guys have most people might be surprised. Like, there is a great sense of community traditionally they have a plow painting contest every year. There's a lot of neat little things that the schools do, that those of us who think of it as a motorcycle destination might not know about.
Yeah.
Very small town, rural kind of beliefs, feelings. There's a local school where they're potentially going to move a 5th grade class to a different school, and that matters to people. Like, they still care about that. So we are very, we get really big during the Sturgis rally population wise, but that's not generally what it is here. It's a lot of people who care about community, care about each other, care about other people.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things that we really appreciate about a lot of the other local businesses that are open year round is that we also employ those people year round. So very rarely will you ever see the people that we employ are not from this area, who haven't worked with us for us year round. And we take a lot of pride in that, because we understand as business owners how that benefits the community itself. And so there is very much a tight-knit community that we focus on supporting each other. And I'm going to tell you that the other bars and restaurants in Whitewood, they are fantastic, and we appreciate them. And I'm going to tell you, if you come here for 5 days, any time of the year, not just the rally, I want you to go and have a burger down at, Hideaway, and I want you to go and have a steak at Bullwhackers. I want you to experience this awesome little town of 1,200 people that we live in.
I don't know if because I didn't hear what you were totally saying when I walked away, but you guys are, we are Baggers and Brews. You're connected in some way to a brewery?
That we are. That's his thing. I'll let him talk about that.
Yes, let's talk about
that. So one of the other hats and things that I've done in my life, I'm also a licensed attorney, and we through just kind of life met a gentleman who was big into home brewing. He and his homebrew buddy kind of just got to a point and said, we're going to quit our day jobs, we're going all in, we're starting a brewery. But we don't really understand taxation structures, business entity structures. I spent a long time when I was working in banking and finance, running closely held companies for wealthy individuals. So I spent some time kind of coaching them on those kind of areas, gratis, because I wanted to see more things to succeed that were small businesses in South Dakota. Ended up working on them with business plans, investor buy-ins, things like that. Andy and I ended up investing in the company. We were in very different situation than we are today. Andy was back in school, getting her MBA and working full time. With a lot of other things going on, and we ended up starting that company basically with 6 people. Now we are the 3rd largest producer of beer in the state of South Dakota. We have 3 different locations. We employ about, right now we're at about 26, I think. In the summer, we'll be probably close to 40, 45. We have 2 locations in Rapid City, 1 in Hill City, and we will be our 8th anniversary in May.
And by the way, the name of it is Lost Cabin Beer Company. Yeah. That's very important.
Yes.
Very.
Lost Cabin or Last Cabin?
Lost.
Lost Cabin.
Yep. We're drinking so Greg and I have zero talent when it comes to beer other than drinking it. Just going to make that very clear. So we are drinking their pecan porter because we have nothing to do with making it.
Yeah, we did skip that segment. We were supposed to ask you, and I guess because we haven't done a live stream with guests in quite a while. So we forgot to ask you guys what you're drinking. So share with the audience what you're drinking.
So this is our pecan porter. This is brewed in conjunction with another local company and nut company here in town. So it's made in the fall, comes out right before Thanksgiving. But we enjoy it all winter long because it's an incredibly great dark beer.
Nice.
The nut company is aptly named She's Nuts. And she roasts all
okay then.
our pecan porter.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that when breweries like team up with other local companies to make beer. We've had a couple of those instances around locally here, and it's just a cool thing. It's like it's part of the backbone of breweries because they're part of the community. They depend upon the community to stay in business, and
Absolutely.
it's just that's very cool. Cotton Top TJ just got his donation in, so thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Thank you. We're starting to pick up. We got a good little chunk. I think the last time I looked, we had about 15 people, and I think it was like 50 something chances to win, based on what they donated. So that's cool.
Very good.
I think we're definitely gonna surpass the value of the room based on what you guys told us. So I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just hoping that, whatever we can get out of this, I hope that you guys meet your goal because we're really excited to be a part of this. It's amazing to me how many local people. Hi, Jeff.
What's up, Jeff?
How many local people have expressed to me that they're excited that we are doing something to support Tunnels to Towers. And so I've joked with that they need to go and put their name in to win a room, and that we'd love to have them be guests for the last weekend of the rally.
Freeze here.
That was a lengthy freeze on our end. I don't know. See, it's a funny thing. This is really weird. This is a very unusual night because on our end, you guys are freezing up, but I'm getting text messages saying that we're freezing up,
which we don't normally do.
We never have that issue. So I don't know what's going on tonight. I mean, the weather is fine outside. I don't know why we
sometimes
would be
with bad
freezing
weather.
up.
Yeah, we have that issue.
Yeah, we don't have bad weather, so I don't know what's going on. I apologize, guys. I mean, we're sitting here thinking that these weird South Dakota folks have bad connection, but everybody's saying it's us. So
look who stumbled in here, Dallas.
He's just face mullet.
He's just Dallas now. He's sure.
Oh yeah. Well, we know habla Dallas. we know no speckensy.
Well, he's been speaking Spanish all day. There was
Yeah.
It's
we need to check those papers. So I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but you guys ride?
Yes and yes. We both do, yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that. Like, tell us, when you started riding, what your first bike was, what you're on now, all those details. Everybody likes to hear about the bike stuff.
Well, I got to tell you this first. So this almost was not a thing. When we first met, I was like, so motorcycles, Sturgis Rally. And she's like, my dad has a bike, made me get on motorcycles, and I did not want to when I was a child. And so probably not. I was like, that's not going to really work for me. But we got over that. So, here we are today, which is good.
That's good.
I was one of those kids that grew up in a very rural area. Death trap rollover, 3-wheelers, little dirt bikes, Honda Rebel 250s, all that kind of great stuff. You could ride without a license on private property, back in the 80s when America was great. I kind of had a gap. I had a less than memorable hockey career. Then I went to college and didn't have any money. Then I went to law school, had less money. When I finally got out into the world and got a grown-up job. But and V-Rod, man, shout out to you. First Harley I ever bought was 100th anniversary 2003 V-Rod.
Oh, snap.
And so that got me kind of back into it when I would come out here for the rally. There happened to be an instance when Andy decided she was maybe not girlfriend material and more wife material, and said this bike is not acceptable for me to be on anymore because it's not.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So and bless her. If you're ever this lucky, props to you. We were out actually looking for a new bike for my father. So both of our fathers are also motorcyclists. And Andy was like, I like this bike. It's not that expensive. Here's the payments. And we weren't even married then. And she said, I can afford that. And that looks way more comfortable. So we ended up getting a Heritage Softail at that point, which we spent a lot of time on, put a lot of miles on. I think when we traded it off, it had about 60,000 miles on it. And literally only got rid of it because we walked into a Black Hills Harley Davidson, and they had a Street Glide CVO that had been ordered, and somebody put the down payment on, but when it showed up, that individual couldn't pay for it. So they rolled it out on that happened on a Friday. They rolled it out on the floor on Saturday morning. And we happened to be there about the time they opened. And we were looking at another bike.
No. We were looking for t-shirts.
Well, we were making fun of another bike, I should say that.
Yeah.
And turned around and Andy's like, this is what you want, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't think that's what we want to pay for a motorcycle. Also, I think at this same time was when we were starting the brewery. Andy was still in school, but put the $1,000 down and got a Street Glide CVO. And now I kind of try to teach myself a lot about motorcycles. So right now I have 3 other Harleys that Street Glide CVO. You want to talk about your bike?
I have a Ridley.
A what?
A Ridley.
A Ridley.
You know somebody who used to own a Ridley.
Who?
Janice owned a Ridley, didn't she?
Is it a Honda?
No, it's a Ridley.
No, she had a Honda.
Oh,
Yeah.
So,
Is the Ridley automatic?
So it's an automatic motorcycle. So we had been doing a lot of longer trips, and one of the things which we love to do and we were really enjoying it, but my biggest fear is if something were to have happened to Greg, that if I needed to get on the bike and go somewhere, I would be useless. So I told him that one of my goals, if we're going to continue to do this, is I need to take the motorcycle safety course. I need to know how to ride a motorcycle. And I also think that just in general, it makes you a better passenger because you have a better understanding of riding in general. But
Definitely.
Going back, I've actually been on a motorcycle since I was a very young child. Like Greg said, my dad was had me on motorcycles probably more than I wanted to as a kid. But so I took the motorcycle safety course and had absolutely zero intention of actually buying a bike. And once again, we fell into a trap that we were out at Black Hills Harley Davidson and talking to a salesman, just bullshitting back and forth. And he's like, you know what? I have this bike that I'd really like to show you. And it wasn't even on the showroom floor yet. It took us downstairs, and sure enough, it's this little red Ridley, and it's an automatic motorcycle. So it has basically the shifting mechanism of like a snowmobile.
Yeah.
It's 700 or no, what is
744 cc.
Yeah. And it sits about 24 inches off the ground. So it's great for short people because I'm just barely over 5 foot. So I don't have to worry about, being able to
She can
hold it up.
She can flat foot both sides.
And it's a heavier bike. I mean, it has great center of gravity, and it's loud as hell. And so it sounds like an actual motorcycle, which I think that would be the one reason why I wouldn't have purchased it, is because I don't want something that doesn't sound like a motorcycle. So, but yeah, that's what I have. And it's fun. So if you guys do stop by, we always have it around. People always find it very fascinating to see the Ridley and, take it for a cruise around the property.
That's cool. Yeah, I had we had a friend. It wasn't a Ridley, it was a Honda, but it was a automatic. And I got on it and I was like, this is weird.
Well,
It's
after
like
riding,
when you ride
yeah.
like, and you have to shift and all that. Yeah, it's definitely different. So owning a business that's busy during the rally, do you guys get out and enjoy any of the rally or do any of the things that are going on during that week?
Yes and no. Typically, the first few days, the first weekend of the rally is always very busy. That's usually, the hardest time for us. But typically by Wednesday, we're able to sneak out and get some rides in and do a little bit more of our own thing. So it's always, you got to bear down and work hard for those first 3 or 4 days. But after that, we can kind of come and go as we please. And as we've become more established and also understanding the ebb and flow of the rally itself, just because this is only our 3rd year of doing it, I think we're starting to understand how we can enjoy the rally in the same capacity that we used to when we were not business owners.
Right.
It's just been a learning curve.
Yeah. So as folks that are from the area, like we all know about the must-hit rides, the big nationally known ones, the Spearfish and Iron Mountain and stuff like that. What, as people that live there and area, what are some must-do things that aren't as well known?
What would be yours?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
I know what mine is.
I mean, if you don't want to give up the secrets, I understand. That's fine.
There's just a lot of great rides, and it gets to the point where I'm pretty specific, and I'm a planner, so I can tell you that if you're not coming up from the south from Custer on 16, you're not going to get the best view of Crazy Horse that you can possibly get.
Okay.
So getting to areas and making sure you're going the right direction is also important to me, because I want people to be able to maximize the ride.
Right.
There's some roads. So a lot of people know about Needles Highway. There's actually another highway that links up with that, called Iron Mountain Road. And then there's a third road called Playhouse Road that hardly anybody knows exists.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
So you can actually link all 3 of those roads together and then get on 385, swing down south to Custer. And so you can see Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse from the best positions you can see them on a motorcycle.
We did 385, didn't we?
We were on 385.
Yeah. For sure, we were on 385.
That goes north from all the way up, Lead Deadwood, all the way down to Custer.
Is that there's a really cool bridge that went over the road? Is that 385?
Oh,
it was like a timber. That's 385. Yeah, it was a really.
We have a picture.
It's in one of our Sturgis videos. It was a really cool bridge.
Yeah.
It's all wood.
Yeah.
Trusses. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
So I have 2 that I would say are my favorite. One of them, most people go on and probably don't think of it this way, but I love the road that goes behind Mount Rushmore. So if the 5 presidents had asses, you would see their asses.
Right.
That's incredibly beautiful back there. But then growing up in South Dakota my entire life, and people ask me where I'm from, I think we just inevitably say that we're from the Midwest, but technically we're not. So I've started to tell people we're from the Wild West. And so I've always really enjoyed the road that goes to Devil's Tower and comes back around. So, but you have to do it very specifically. So you go from our place or from Spearfish, you'd go to Beulah and then to Sundance, Devil's Tower, Hewlett, and then the road coming from Hewlett back to our place is incredibly gorgeous. And one of the stops along the way is the Stonehouse Saloon, and it is in the middle of nowhere. And I believe that is a perfect depiction of where motorcycling meets the Wild West. And that's why I love that place.
Is that the same road that Aladdin is on?
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool.
We rode it into, I think the opposite way, into Devil's Tower, and then we hit Hewitt, and went out that way.
And then we hit Aladdin and passed. We didn't stop. We didn't actually go to Stonehouse because that day was 101.
It was so hot,
and we had made so many stops, and everybody just wanted to be on the bike and getting air. So we had made stop after stop after stop, and then we ended up just bypassing that Stonehouse. So is that definitely a place that you need to hit, Stonehouse?
I think so. I just find it to be very, very South Dakota, Wyoming comes together, and it's cowboy country, but yet we're a bunch of iron horses are sitting there. I mean, it's just, I guess maybe it's not, I mean, it's got cold beer, it's got hot dogs, off the grill or whatever. It's not anything gourmet or, super fancy, middle of a field.
No, they're getting bougie.
They are getting a little bougie, but it is, to me, it's.
How are they getting bougie?
They make margarita icebergs and stuff.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Now he's excited.
Yeah, but they do have cowboys on horses.
Yes.
While the motorcycles are there too.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, it's one of those, and the people that own it legitimately do own a ranch. So
Okay.
I just find it to be very, I just think that it is the epitome of where we live. If you want to put two worlds together and have two worlds collide, that is the perfect place to go and see it all happen.
Okay.
And we'd be undeserving of where we live if we didn't mention the Badlands.
Sure.
Whether or not there are some people that ride really far to get to Sturgis. There are certain things they're going to do, and if you're in Wyoming and it's 100 degrees, it's going to be 120 in the Badlands. But just seeing what that area actually looks like and the topography, the colors, and if you get there at a time when it's been wet during the summer, but it's warm when you're riding, just the foliage compared to the rock formations is just insane. You don't see that anywhere else.
And prairie dogs everywhere.
Yeah, we saw the prairie dogs.
We saw some prairie dogs.
How'd you feel about the Badlands?
I thought the Badlands was good. I have an issue with heights, so I know that's what you're getting at. I mean, I've been around long enough to know when the joke is coming, but I feel like all of the tar snakes on the road were super soft, and we almost lost Glenn that day. Glenn was he hit one of them soft tar snakes, and I think he panicked and grabbed a fistful of front brake.
Yeah, he did.
And it got a little hairy for him for a minute. But it was cool, man. It was terrain that you don't really get to see anywhere else. So I feel like, to go out there and not hit the Badlands, or nevertheless, not to hit, what was the name of that tourist trap there? That's right there.
Oh, Walls.
I mean, how could you not stop at Wall after seeing signs for Wall for 1,000 freaking miles, man?
Yeah.
It's Wall drug 1,000 miles ahead,
Yeah. There's actually, so I grew up in a really small town just off of the Nebraska border. So where the Badlands obviously spans a very large area, and down kind of towards where I grew up, there's a place called Red Shirt Table. And you can get to it from Rapid within about 45 minutes, I would say, give or take. But it is, on one side of the highway, it is field, it is prairie, it is farming, field. And then on this side of the highway, it is the beginning of the Badlands. And they call it Red Shirt Table because of the coloring of the formations and everything. And it is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it would be a there and back ride. There's a roundabout way you can do it. It's
going to take you 5-6 hours.
Yeah, and it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so you need to be very cognizant of gas and different things like that. But seeing Red Shirt Table is also a really cool experience.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Gas was an issue. I feel like when we were out there, there were dudes in Sportsters that we got to that gas station and they were sweating bullets, man. I mean, we ate a lot of gas. I think that on 90, right?
Oh, well, getting out there,
from like Mitchell to
because it's super windy,
and
you're fighting that wind. Plus, you're doing 85, 90 on the highway. You're just guzzling gas. So, but I can imagine where they're talking about is even scarier because it's a little more.
Oh yeah.
Well, we used to do an annual or several times a year res run. So Red Shirt Table is actually part of Native American Indian Reservation.
Pine Ridge.
Okay. And when there's some routes you can go down there where, again, if you have smaller bikes with smaller tanks, you're going to have somebody with you very knowledgeable, or you're going to have somebody carrying gas because you're not going to get to another place, within certain mileage. But there's also people who, I don't know if you guys have ever had episodes about this and people can debate it, whether or not what octane can actually go in a Harley Davidson or an Indian, and what those do to engines or don't do to engines. But most of those places do not have 91 octane gasoline. So you're putting in what they have, or you're bringing extra of what you want. So
we ran into that leaving Sturgis, and we were the day we left, it was like we were in the middle of nowhere and it was hot and all we wanted was gas and air conditioning. And the place we stopped at did not have air conditioning. We were like sticking our heads in the freezer because it was just so hot that day. And they had, I think, not have premium. So I think we settled on like 89, but there was no, I knew we were in trouble when the gas station was not paved. It was just like islands, like on dirt. And that's when I knew we were in trouble. And I was like, oh boy.
Were you going east on Highway 34?
I would have thought we were on 90, but I don't know.
There's nowhere. Well, there's one tourist trap place off of 90 that doesn't have paved. Yeah, around the gas pumps, but it's pretty few and far between. Most of them are. That's why I was asking 34, because I know the two towns, Midland and Phillip, that would have that kind of setup for gas stations. So.
Yeah, I feel like when we left that place we stopped at, all we needed was like gas and air conditioning, and the place didn't have premium, and it had like no air conditioning inside.
Where was that at?
When we were leaving Sturgis that first day. We didn't make it far that first day because it was
there was construction.
It was construction and it was hot, man.
Yeah, there was a lot of construction, which we kept getting slowdowns, and it just kind of ate up a lot of the day, where it would come down to one lane for long stretches, and you're behind rigs, so you're never really picking up speed.
And then we wound up in this weird spot where we were at where were we at? Sioux City, Iowa.
Yeah.
And like right next to Nebraska. And it was like stop here early. It was like 5 or 6 o'clock.
But then the next place we want to get to was going to be like 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like another 300 miles. We were like, damn.
Yeah.
So we made it back in 3 days.
No, 2.
We made it back. No, we didn't make it back in 2.
3.
It was 3 because we went from Sturgis to Sioux Falls, Iowa, to east of Indianapolis, and then Indianapolis.
Got back on the 3rd day.
So we got back on the 3rd day.
Yeah. So, for both of you guys and anybody here listening, anybody that shows up, same offer. Yeah, if you're not sure what route is the best to get gas, to have amenities, those kinds of things, just contact us and ask. There's no reason that I can't give you a route that's going to make your life better.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the. I tell people all the time, that's the beauty of dealing with, Greg, myself, my father, Frank, we all ride, and we've all been riding for a long time. We've been a lot of different places on our motorcycles. So if there's a place, most of our breakfast, when I show up at breakfast every morning during the rally, it's a lot of people being like, okay, so what's the best place to stop and eat here if we're going to go this direction? So it's a lot of giving directions, make sure you get off on this road or whatever. And that's the beauty of, dealing with us locals, I guess, is that we know all the secrets.
Right.
And we got a whole bunch of paper maps. So I'm going to
paper
maps.
Those are hard to look at on the bike. I will say that.
Well, like all the tourists, Black Hills, so South Dakota Tourism, Black Hills and Badlands Tourism Association, there are even motorcycle associations. We get these great, and they're great maps of all of the rides in Western South Dakota, Eastern Wyoming, part of Montana, where they show even the difficulty levels. So you can get a lot of information off of there. And even if, write it down, pick spots, you can go feed it into your, whatever you use for a navigational tool. But there's no, like she said, and sometimes I'm not up that early because usually I'm the one shutting the bar down at night. But yeah, it's usually conversations about, we want to go here. What else should we see? And how do we get there to maximize the ride?
OMG Moto needs a recap because he could not be on time. So OMG Moto says, I just got here. Let's do a review.
Do it all over again?
Let's start over. OMG, we are here.
It's very simple, OMG. Go to the link in the description, click on that link, and then put all your money in there. Just donate all of your money, and you might win a chance to go and stay in Sturgis for all your money.
I bet I can do 5-point plan to recap. I bet.
Okay.
Tunnels to towers, good. Give them your money.
Mm-hmm.
Sturgis, good. You want to go. Please be smart. Ask for directions and ideas. Stay at the Iron Horse Inn.
Of course.
Follow Baggers and Brews on all the channels.
Boom.
We made the
short and sweet. We made the 5 point.
We made the 5-point plan. There you go.
There we go. Perfect. So have you guys, now that you've been doing, you have your motel, you got the bus that takes people in and out of town, the drunk bus, as we like to call it. Have you seen anything crazy since you've been running that motel?
So that's really a great question because we actually have just been discussing this over the last week or so because, like I said, we span 14 acres, right? And if you go up to what we call buildings 2 and 3, it's actually they're up a hill a little bit, so the road takes you around. But we have the set of stairs that brings you back down to the bar, so you don't have to walk all the way around.
And they're legit railroad ties.
Yeah, so we're in the process of updating the stairs because they are a little bit discombobulated, and so we're talking about the best way to do it. I am a sucker for holding on to some history. I don't want to just rip it all out and have it look brand new because that doesn't fit the aesthetic of the company. So we're talking about how we're going to do this, make it look old, but make it look like it's always been there and so on. So this stairwell has been a contentious piece of discussion for years and years because people decide that they want to ride their motorcycle
up and down. They'll have lots to drink and then they will ride their motorcycles up and down this damn stairwell. So I'm in the process of trying to design something to deter that from happening. So it's always really interesting to see that. And these are railroad ties they're legit railroad ties. And they've been there for 20 years. So they're settling, they're uneven. So guys are trying to rip up and down this staircase. It goes up and down an entire hill. It's not like 4 or 5. It's like
24.
Yeah, 24 levels of off, off level railroad ties. And
That
guys,
sounds like something you would do.
So your job is to go get video of this.
Yeah, definitely. Now I gotta camp out.
Because how has this not made YouTube?
Wow.
Tell you that we have so last year was the first year we've ever done it. We did a count of where everybody that was staying for the rally, where everybody was coming from. So I looked at everybody's zip code and put some numbers down and determined where everybody was coming from. And Iowa, people from Iowa love the Iron Horse, which we greatly appreciate. But
Okay.
coming in second was Canada.
Huh.
A lot of Canadians stay with us, which we also love. But the Canadians are the ones that fucking ride up. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
Okay. Are the ones who ride up and down that damn staircase. It's always the Canadians.
Canadians and Australians, when they get to Sturgis, because especially the Australians, they ship their bikes to California or Florida and they ride. And they're basically here for an entire month. And their whole goal in life is to go to Sturgis.
Yeah.
And then just destroy everything they can.
Yeah, I think the idea behind that is they come from places where they're not allowed to do anything, so they come here and they just want to cut loose because they don't have freedom where they're from.
So speaking of that, 2020, we have, and we are so appreciative of them. We love too that they appreciate us and they come back year after year. We have groups that come every year, and we had a lot of Canadians when the border was closed during 2020 and COVID, and they just kept calling. Border's still closed. You didn't sell my rum, did you? Border's still closed. You didn't sell my rum. And then all of a sudden, I'm not going to be able to get there. Can I move my reservation to next year? Can I move my reservation to next year? And we didn't increase prices on them. We'll let them keep it up for the prior years. But they are very passionate about coming for the rally. And we had several new groups. We have a lot of conversations with people about whether the rallies are going to age out, whether motorcycling is going to age out. We are getting every year more and more people in their 20s and 30s showing up and staying with us. And
that's great.
Yeah. And so for us, it's very important to make those connections, make those relationships so that they know they're appreciated when they come back. And it's not, we just care about these older people that have more money than you. So,
yeah, no, that's great. And I could see the whole Canadian thing because those guys are they're cooped up in a house for like eight months of the year. So, they get to get out and get some fresh air. They just cut loose, I guess, huh? I could just picture Scouse. That's like the only guy I know that lives up there. He's not technically Canadian, but I mean, he's British, but still, I could see him trying to ride up there friggin'.
Yes.
Oh man, that's wild.
I will say we don't see a ton of crazy stuff like what you see I highly suggest you go to all these places because it's all about the experience. But we are not the Buffalo Chip. We are not Glencoe Campground. We are not.
Pause. Glencoe Campground has Titty Alley. So and then you continue on his teaser right there.
We're not any of those places. What we are is we are a place where I think that we house, for lack of better words, people who want to ride. They want to be on their motorcycle. They want to ride during the day. They want to experience the Black Hills, and they want to have some drinks, and they want to enjoy their evening, and they want to go downtown, but they want to be safe. So, the people who stay with us, they get a good night's sleep. I mean, I don't want to tell you that we have a curfew. We don't have a curfew, but you get a really good night's sleep, and you don't have to worry about, we don't have an issue with fistfights. We don't have an issue with people being assholes. I think the biggest issue we had last year is there was a gentleman from Australia who asked my bartender to look at a type of liquor, and he was like, well, while I have it, he just started drinking it
the whole bottle
out of the bottle. And that was the biggest issue I had last year. So, I mean, I would say, I think you're not gonna get a lot of the drama, at our place. And I think that people can appreciate that. If you want drama, there's a lot of places you can go to find it.
Yeah.
So we also find it, and I think a lot of people find this, that the motorcycle culture in society is very self-policing. And even if somebody goes overboard and gets too drunk or does things makes bad decisions, most of the people that know them are going to have a conversation with them and take care of them themselves.
Right.
Somebody else doesn't have to be responsible for it because they know, hey, I'm the person this reflects upon me, and I would like to be able to come back and be good and not have, my friend either be in trouble, and so we're just going to take it and deal with it.
Yeah.
You stayed at the Buffalo Chip.
I did, and I would.
How was that?
I would never do that again. I would gladly stay at your place and get some sleep. That was brutal, man. I don't know how anybody does it. I really don't. Thank God it was only like 2 nights. So what was that? 21?
That was 21.
21. I actually flew out because one of our YouTuber friends was going to be out there staying at the Chip, and he offered up, a place in his RV and a bike to borrow. So I flew out and I stayed there a couple nights, man. And yeah, it was freaking awesome going to the concert and, seeing Kid Rock. But then the night, like for me, was over because I'm old, and go back to his RV to try to sleep at like 1 a.m, which I'm not that old. I was still up till like 1 a.m, and I could still hear the noise from the concert area. Like, I don't know what they had going on. Like, I don't know if there's like a late night bikini contest. I don't know, but it was loud. I couldn't sleep. It was miserable. I didn't sleep for like 2 nights, and I would never, ever stay there on my own.
Yeah.
Ever. Not to mention that it's a giant mud bowl or dust bowl, depending on whether you got rain or don't got rain.
Last year was bad for them. So I guess one thing that I do want to say is we used to have camping for RVs, and we had gone away from that in 2020 due to somebody taking down
Somebody wiped out one of the electrical posts.
Yeah.
And that was a domino effect on all of our sites. So
that is something that we are working on bringing back. Actually, I just had a great conversation with everybody today about that. So if you do want to camp, or, we are looking at bringing that back. So
oh, wow.
If I do that, I would make a huge announcement about that, because I think that there's a lot of people, especially in 2020, 2021, a lot of people opted to travel via camping, right? Via camper, RV, whatever. And they've now invested in that, and that's how they're choosing to travel forward. And we want to be able to accommodate that. It's just a matter of overcoming this transformer being taken out via
idiot.
Yeah.
An idiot a few years ago. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to accommodate some of that come this summer as well.
That would be. I'm 100% on board for everybody. Like, I would say, ride to Sturgis at least once, ride to Daytona at least once, ride to these rallies once, but there's no rule that says you have to do it every freaking time you go, right? I'm at the stage where we have the RV, we have the toy hauler. That's what we're staying in. It saves you a lot of money from having to stay at hotels or, stuff like that. So I'm at the point where I'm going to be taking the RV to most things that I go to now. So that's awesome. That would be really cool.
Also, you're going to get out there in 2 years, and Carolyn can bring a bike.
Yeah.
Yep.
So can I ask a question?
You having an RV or a toy hauler or something like that or whatever. And so I'm all for riding to it. Like, I definitely wanted to ride to Sturgis. We did that. I got the patch, whatever, but I don't feel like I need to do that every year.
I'm glad I rode. I'm glad we rode.
Yeah. So that would be really cool if you guys had that.
Yeah, I have a question. So we're an hour and 15 minutes in. Is anybody still listening to our dumbasses?
Oh yeah, 41 people are.
Yeah, I mean, we attract a special kind of person. I'm just saying, it's not. I mean, don't get too excited. It's not like we have anybody real special watching. It's Doc Harley, and no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Doc Harley.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, these guys are troopers. I really feel like we need to switch our night to Fridays because these guys. But yeah. What else? Do you have anything else?
I mean,
Any other questions?
Something else that you guys are hosting 530 bikers again this year?
Yeah. So we have a lot of incredible events coming up this year. I'll do some name dropping. So yeah, 530 bikers are coming out. Their event is, I believe it's like starting on the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
The weekend before the rally starts.
Yep, and we're gonna have some rides. Greg's going to be involved in leading some rides to make sure that the people who are able to come out for that can experience it in full. There's a group from North Dakota. It's called the North Dakota Ladies Riders Group. So it's approximately 100 women who all ride motorcycle from North Dakota. They are all coming down. They are going to ride. They're going to stay with us. We're going to have a couple breakfasts. We're going to have some dinners, and Greg is once again involved in leading some rides around the hills for them. We have a Vietnam Vets Club that's coming in, and they are what they call themselves a dinosaur club, which means that you had to have served in Vietnam in order to be a part of that club. So
They're dying.
Yeah.
Like, there will eventually be no
Yes.
more.
Yeah. So that club is staying with
That's
us.
how that works.
Yeah. So that club is staying with us this year. We have some Harley's owner group groups coming in.
Now,
We
hog
have
chapters. We get some hog chapters that come, and it's a great time because they, if they're going to ride here from another state, they really want to ride, which is awesome.
Right. Yeah.
And then we have, actually, I just got a text message. Our friend Ernie. Hi, Ernie.
Ernie's on?
Ernie's on. He found us a few years ago, and he brings a group up from Colorado, and they stay with us, and they do 3 or 4 days with us every June or July, and they are just an amazing group. So we have a V-Rock group, which is a Vulcan something. What's that?
No, Vulcan, Kawasaki Vulcan Owners Group.
Yeah. Like it's just like so fascinating.
Wow.
The people that we get to spend our time with. And I think one of the questions you guys asked earlier is like, are we, during the rally, do we get to enjoy the rally? And sometimes what I have to remind myself is maybe not so much during the rally, but we have all these other weekends where people are coming in, and we kind of just get to like blend in with their group and hang out and drink and cheers.
That's
and
cool.
Greg, we go riding with them because we're always invited, to go on their motorcycle rides with them. And so we're just really blessed to be able to collide these two lives that we have, what our love for motorcycling, yet we get to this is our livelihood as well. And so it's kind of fascinating that this is what we're doing.
Motorgator coming to FTDM, Florida.
Yeah.
You're going to win distance, my friend.
Yes.
Every year there's a distance to go to the event, and if you're coming,
that's a hike.
You're going to win.
So, and I guess the only other thing I would really say is
Super Chat.
Thank you, Salty Badger, for the super chat. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm chugging a lug. I don't know. I'm not chugging it, but I'm drinking it. We appreciate that. No, that's very cool, man. That's really good stuff. And yeah, was that Moto Gator that's coming from Florida? That is awesome. That is a hike from there.
1,700 miles.
No, it's more than that.
He says he's in North Florida, so it's around 1,700 miles.
That was yeah, I don't think that's right. I think that's more than 1,700.
Maybe he thinks he's riding 1,700, but he's really riding like 1,900.
Yeah, I don't think you did the math. Your math's not mathing. Florida public school system's not.
Your math's not mathing.
Your math is not mathing.
Your English isn't Englishing.
No, that's total English. Where you been? Your math ain't mathing.
Yeah, we've been incredibly lucky that, and it hasn't been a lot of expensive marketing, that we get groups that just through word of mouth have somebody stayed. We've had booze fighters out of Chicago come stay with us. We've had, huge international clubs that have tried to find places, like Andy said earlier, where they can get a bigger block of rooms where they can put a lot of people on one place. And we're one of the few facilities that can actually do that is still motorcycle centric, and people that they know or somebody that they have heard about has stayed with us before, instead of saying, this is a chain hotel. And then when they come, and we can talk to them about riding and routes and what the benefits are of going one direction on a route as opposed to the other. Those are just things that we would never be able to do without all the people that we're lucky enough that come and support us. So we appreciate that. And we always want anybody that comes to stay with us, please don't, if you see us there, come say hi, come talk to us. Like, we don't feel like you're inconveniencing us, because we've had that comment before, and we're like, we exist because we care about this culture, and we want everybody to have the best time that they can.
We've been telling people that for like 4 years now. When it comes to, like, if you see us at a rally, you see us out and about, come say hi to us, because that's going to make us feel like good and important. And they're like, oh, then we get messages after the fact. Oh, we saw you in Ocean City, but we didn't want to come bother you. Come bother.
It's not about.
Come say hi, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think, going back to the 530 biker thing, we really pride ourselves on treating people who stay with us. You're our customer, sure. We can use that word. We can throw that around. We can also say that you're our guest, but there really is a point where you become part of our family, and there is very much an Iron Horse in family. And there are some people who, Ryan and Dave, or Percy, who were able to be out here during the rally, they can definitely see that, because when I explained that to them, I think in their mind they were like, oh, sure, okay, yeah, everybody says that. But they would be in the bar with me, or we would be chit-chatting, and then all of a sudden somebody would come up to me and be like, Andy, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you since last year. And it's very much the entire rally is like that. And I will say that the entire summer is becoming more and more like that now, because it's not, we don't want you to just come and be our guest. We want you to find value, and we want you to feel like you're a part of what this whole thing is, because we are very aware that without all of the people who come and stay with us and choose us over all of the other places in the Black Hills, we would not exist without them. So I'm never going to take any of those people or their choices for granted.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, just because I really enjoy being right, this. Jacksonville, which is pretty far north Florida, if I'm not mistaken, other than the Panhandle, Jacksonville to Sturgis is 1,876 miles.
Well, what did he say it was?
He said 1,700.
Okay, so
that's another 176 miles.
What if he's in the Panhandle? What if he's like in the west north?
Maybe he didn't specify.
Well, he just said Pensacola.
1707. So where are you at?
Pensacola.
Bert would like to dial this in. Dial it in.
Yeah, no, I need exact numbers, because I ain't buying it. That Florida, you can get there from Florida quick, like shorter than from Jersey. Get out of here.
It is. I saw Trikes and Treats said it's 1,666 miles from Reading.
Reading, PA.
Yeah.
Well, they're west of us, so it should be shorter. 1620 from Pensacola.
So there you go. He says he's 1707 from where he lives. So there you go.
I guess maybe I'm just used to Pro Monkey just whining like a little baby about how far it is from where he's at.
Yes.
Yeah, that must be what it is. My bad. I'm just used to that guy crying all the time.
You're like, I took my anger from somebody else, moved it over to you.
Yeah. Well, he's down by Miami, so that, I mean, you know, that is a hike because that's South Florida. So that's an extra few hundred miles right there.
Here, Moto Gator says Crestview, Florida. So now type Crestview, Florida.
Nah, I'm good, man.
You good?
Enjoy your ride.
You satisfied?
Enjoy your 1,600 ride from Crestview, Florida. Oh, that's awesome, man. I mean, that's a good. Are you riding on the motorcycle, or are you trailering? Or are you RVing? How are you doing it? Marshfield, Mass. Where's Marshfield, Mass?
Uxbridge, Mass, 1892.
Where do you see Uxbridge?
Yeah, where do you see
I was looking at Marshfield.
Where do you see Marshfield?
Jeff Benson, my friend.
Top, yeah. Moto Mortician's defending Florida. He says, "Well, Monkey is in South Florida."
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's what I just said. Jeez, with friends like Droop and Dallas, like who needs enemies, man?
So
Serious.
listen, don't pick on Dallas. I know you're gonna love this. Is this thing not playing?
Super chat.
F that guy.
Bert put sound effects into StreamYard, so now we are.
I got a lot of them, but most of them aren't appropriate for this particular live stream. We're trying to be semi-professional tonight. Like we're somewhere in between. So you guys have done, I think, a couple of the 530 Bikers lives, right?
Yep.
So we're like somewhere in between them and like journalists. So we're like in the middle. Like we like to have fun, but we're not quite the 530 Bikers in there.
You're not as dirty.
Yeah, they're dirty, all right.
Oh, these guys are ragging on you.
Exactly where I fit in at, because I am like, I've really had to make sure that I am not saying specific things, because I grew up in my father and my grandfather owned a trucking company. So I grew up around truckers. And so like the F word is my most favorite word in the entire world. And I have, my head is in the gutter most of the time. It is mostly filth that I want.
I like it.
That's great. You grew up around truckers and then you went to nursing school.
And that, yes.
And then she went and ran a gastroenterology butt play medical facility.
Wait, did he say butt play?
Yeah,
No.
gastroenterology, guts and butts, man.
I ran a gastroenterology clinic and endoscopy center for 6 years.
Yeah.
And so Greg calls it butt play. That is not what it is, honey. It's not butt play.
To the GI lab. Now, come on.
They're putting cameras up there, man. That's
It's just, forward, 2 rights, and reverse. It's no big deal.
So yeah, I live in the gutter most of the days. I mean, that's usually where my head's at. So I've been trying. I could be from Jersey. You're correct. I just don't have the accent.
Neither do we. There's no accent.
Really?
You think we have an accent?
No, there's a lot of New York, New Jersey people we know that do, though.
Yeah, that's the New York, New Jersey people.
Yeah.
I spent a weekend.
No, nothing.
Where was I at? Jamaica. I spent a week in Jamaica with some people from Jersey, and they all had accents.
Comment of the night. That's why Greg is a lucky man.
Aw, how sweet.
Because she used to run a
That's why you're a lucky man.
That is why he's saying it.
That's because you used to run a butt play clinic. That's why he's a lucky man.
You say butt plate? What did you say? This nurse talk is not appropriate for the live stream.
The worst part is that you can't even embarrass me anymore. Like I've said way worse. It's so bad. I try to be. No.
Let me see. Do I have
Dallas says we have an accent.
Dallas has an accent.
Dallas sounds like a Mexican from Tennessee. Of course, he has an accent.
He does.
I mean,
No,
we have
I
an
do not have
accent
an
here.
accent. Go ahead.
We drop O's and our A's. South Dakota.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota.
Casseroles and
Do you
patties.
do casseroles?
No,
Patty.
it is a hot dish. It is not a casserole.
Oh shoot.
Isn't that like anything you cook would be a hot dish?
You would think.
How do you differentiate what's a casserole, what's a hot dish?
Casserole is not a English word. That is not what happens at the church fairs. You make hot dishes. Tater tot hot dish goes to the church fair.
This is great. We just went from butt stuff to church fairs in like 30 seconds.
Church fairs. What the hell is going on right now?
George, there's only so many people here. We know them all. You got to cram everything together.
Like I said, from the Wild West, you never know what you're gonna get. We church up and then we dress down real quick.
There's a bar I can take you to that has a 5-gallon jar of pickled peckers from all kinds of different animals.
Of what?
I think
Pickled
he said
pecker.
pickled peck.
Pickled peckers?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the male organ of many different animals pickled in a jar. It is a jar of pickled peckers.
Okay, but not humans?
You sound disappointed now. This is
I ain't
getting
been-
weird.
I thought we were getting really. I thought it was getting interesting. I mean, I don't want to see a sheep wanger. Like, so you guys are both from South Dakota, right? No, you're from Nebraska.
I'm from north of the wall.
He's from North Dakota.
Yeah.
Oh. North Dakota from South Dakota.
I climbed over the wall and then, here I am.
Yeah, I grew up.
Warmer.
I grew up in South Dakota. I moved away for a short period of time for about 5 years, but I've been here most of my life.
So it's like a Stark met a wildling,
Yeah.
and she brought him back over the wall.
I could really I feel like there really would be like ice giants in North Dakota.
Ryan lives up there. So.
He's not a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ryan's taller than you think.
So here's the thing, George. And if you see him in person, and the first time we met in person, he was kind of like, "You're taller than I thought." And I'm like, "You're not as big as I thought." So sometimes it's,
Huh.
I feel like there was one picture when they were raffling off the bike, the 5 Dirty Bikers bike, where like Ryan was like the tallest dude.
well, yeah, because all the rest
Yeah,
of
but if the rest of the dudes were 5'7", that's not really like.
they're all like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, like if 4 out of the 5 are 5'3", then yeah, like 6 foot's gonna look massive.
When we first started doing YouTube, we went to the Adam Sandoval ride, and there were a handful of YouTubers at the time who we knew who were
All shorts.
everyone was short. It
Yeah.
was Dirty D's was short. Roll Tide was short. Like everybody was short.
Who's the one from California, the tattoo guy?
Um,
And his woman was
his woman was Bombshell
too.
Biker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, those guys, they were all short. I mean, I felt like a giant standing next to those guys. Wow.
Is Tony short?
Tony's stupid short.
Really?
He said stupid short.
Hey, have you ever heard them call
shoot.
dildo baggins?
Oh my god.
Call him what?
Dildo baggins.
Minions?
No, dildo.
Dildo
Dildo bag. He's dildo baggins. He's really small.
I'm DMing him tonight. Like, what's up, Frodo?
Yeah. No.
Tony looks like a little person next to Ryan. This is great.
Percy are not tall. Brittany is actually taller than both of them.
Dustin's
Wow.
not right.
Yeah.
Brittany's taller than both of them?
Yeah, Brittany's actually pretty tall.
Really?
Very tall.
Yeah.
Real. I think Percy's coming to our event on July 13th.
Oh, good.
So
Yeah,
I think he's coming to the event. Where are we at? So I'm gonna put this link here again. For those of you who may have stumbled in late who do not know what we are doing, we are dedicating 2024 to raising money for Tunnel to Towers, and our goal is $50,000. And we're here with the owners of the Iron Horse Inn, who are helping us reach that goal by donating 3 nights during the Sturgis rally, which you can win by clicking on the link that I just posted. And every $20 you donate with your name attached, I feel like I can't say that enough. It's got to be your name and Iron Horse in the comments. You will win one chance for every $20. So very exciting, great opportunity, especially to stay at Sturgis during the rally. Everything come out all right? You back?
Excellent. Excellent. So,
Bert got lost.
what'd I do?
Huh?
You got-
Bert, what? He's breaking up.
Oh, you were just lost for a minute.
Yeah. Well, once I break the seal, it's kind of all over.
It's all down. It's all
it's
down
like
there
every
from there.
It's like every 20 minutes. It's like I'm like a pregnant woman. I don't poop Dallas during live streams.
I'm a nurse, so I can go for a good 12 hours. So
Pickled peckers. So, if somebody watching tonight live, or what is the best way to book a room? Is it go online, call you guys? What's the best way?
All right. So if you want to book a room online, it's ironhorseinsturgis.com. And we are in the process of updating our website, so please bear with us on that. But I would really recommend that you call us at 605-722-7574.
Say that again,
most likely
605.
605-722-7574. You're going to talk to one of two people. That's probably going to be myself or our front desk manager / she is the most amazing person in the entire world, Miranda. And I just can't I can't express enough that in a world where we don't want to necessarily always interact with people, if you interact with us over the phone, we're going to be able to we want to ask you questions. We want to talk to you about whether you're driving or whether you're coming in on a motorcycle. We want to make sure that when you get there, you're in the room that you should be in, that you're going to be the most comfortable in. So I guess my preference is that you call, just because we want to make sure that you are happy when you arrive. Other than that, you can also find us on Facebook at Iron Horse Inn. Then you can also find us on Instagram at Iron Horse Inn Sturgis. And I do all of the social media, so you can laugh at it, but it is what it is. And I do the best I can. And I guess I'll just reiterate the fact that what you see is not somebody who is paying a bunch of people to do marketing and put a bunch of fluff out there. What you're seeing is the people who own the place putting a lot of love and care into what they're putting out there. And so what you see is what you get, so to speak.
Yeah. I really think that's when it really boils down to it, I think that's like the best way. And I think people really appreciate that. And I think that's how you get loyal returning customers year in and year out, because that's what they love, that real, family owned, family operated vibe. Like we're inundated with big media and all their fancy commercials and shit. And I think most people really appreciate that you're doing that just by yourself. And maybe it isn't like super elaborate and corporate looking, but you're doing it yourself. And I think people really appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. And make sure, when you're posting stuff, just tag baggers on Instagram. If you're posting stuff on Instagram, I don't know if you could tag us on Facebook. I don't know. Facebook is like,
I don't know how Facebook works.
yeah,
I'm still trying to figure out
still trying to figure out Facebook. But if you're putting stuff on Instagram, which if you're not, you should be, make sure.
Any of your stories and stuff that you guys post, I'm definitely, if I see them, I'm definitely sharing them on ours. Because why not? We are super freaking grateful for you guys. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, again, it's community. We all have shared cause. Care about a lot of the same things. We all want to ride. We want to have a good time. We want to be free. And I didn't know how long we're going to go, but again, we're going to be at Mama Tried in Milwaukee at the end of the month, and Flat Out Friday. If you see us there, you're going to be there. Contact us on social media. We'd love to meet you, have a drink with you, get to know you a little bit. Then, yeah, we'll also be at AZ Bike Week and Cave Creek Bike Week at the end of March, April. And thankfully, through the generosity of my father, because he's got a free place and I get to leave motorcycles there. We're actually gonna be riding in Arizona. So if you're down that direction and want to get together, just reach out, please. And don't think it's an inconvenience for us, because this is a community, it's culture. And if we don't support each other and spend time together, it's going to go away. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
So true. So well put.
Yeah. Just a heads up to you two. I got a notification today that your shipment is headed your way. So you should have some Baggers and Brews geared to wear at Mama Tried. It's headed your way. But no, we really we're super grateful that you guys reached out after seeing us and offered up what you did. It's going to actually it's hugely beneficial. We're going to end up, I really believe we're going to end up getting, more than any of our other sponsors out of, what you gave us. So we really appreciate it. I think it's an awesome opportunity, guys. And for all of you guys in the side chat or anybody watching after the fact, if you watched this far into it, go to our link below. Win an opportunity to go stay at the Iron Horse for 3 nights. I mean, that could be 4 people, or that could be 8 people. I don't know what you're into and what kind of freaky stuff you do, but it could be like a lot of people. So go in and donate at that, and $20 for every entry. And you can donate as much as you want, get as many entries into that and chances to win as you want. We really, I mean, I can't stress enough how much we appreciate you guys just kind of volunteering that and reaching out to us. This whole thing of, doing charity work, it's super stressful.
It's new to
us. And I mean, you need people to support you and to help you along this journey. And we've had so many cool people in just this short period of time since we announced that we were going to do this charity this year have to help us, and you guys being one of the big ones. So we really do. Come by and see you guys place and have a drink with you, hopefully, and hang out for a little bit. So I will definitely meet you this summer.
So should we tell the people like where we're at for the month of January, like wrapping up the month of January?
As far as
towards our goal?
Yeah. So we really are. I think we're like ahead of schedule. We're obviously, for everybody following, we've set a goal of $50,000 to raise for Tunnel to Towers. Obviously, that's just a goal. That's not like we need to stop at 50,000. We can do way more, but that was our goal. And for us, we thought, having never done any charity stuff before, we really thought that was an aggressive goal, right? But we thought it was one that we could accomplish. Well, as of today, we're well over $10,000 raised. Yeah. So with how many months left?
We got 11 months left.
11. Well, yeah, for the year. Yeah. 11 months
for the year. I mean, we have 11 months to
Yeah, I keep thinking July for the event, but yeah, I mean, we're doing the whole year. So we have 11 months. We're at 10,000. I mean, we could easily surpass this if everybody keeps,
So, and for the people who are here, we formally announced this yet. Those people who are part of the Brew Crew and who are in our Discord definitely know it is active. We haven't made an official video about the announcement, but www.baggersandbrews.com is up.
Yeah.
The link to donate to Tunnel to Towers is up there. We are going to be selling a few different things on there. Can we talk about?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So one of the things that our friend Jane is helping us with,
and I can post this in the Discord. I can post it on Instagram later on, whatever.
We have commemorative poker chips that we are going to be selling for the ride. They are laser etched poker chips, and they have the Tunnel to Towers logo.
Well, basically has our event logo that's on the flyer.
The event Tunnel to Towers logo that we have right on the flyer, and our logo, the Baggers and Brews logo on the back. So it's
yeah, we're going to be selling those.
Cool.
The proceeds to that are all going to go towards this.
100% of the proceeds.
Yes,
because we had the poker chips donated by Umbery, who is a local company here in New Jersey, and Jane is donating her time and equipment to
a really good friend of ours, Jane, who's very handy and very into arts and crafts and has some really cool machines and stuff that she's gotten over the years and has learned how to do stuff like that. And she volunteered her time and effort to make these poker chips. And like George said, we got a local company, Umbery, to donate the blank chips, and she's making those. We're going to sell those. 100% of the proceeds are going to go to Tunnel to Towers. So the plan is to get her to make them, and we'll have them up and on the website prior to the event, and then we'll sell some at the event as well. Just another really cool thing where someone who didn't have to was willing to donate something to us because of the cause. So there's a lot of people out there who really want to support our vets and our first responders. So very cool, very blessed to have made as many contacts and connections as we have just over the last couple months after saying we were going to do this. Definitely, you can't do something like this without help, and you guys have been a big help. And a lot of local companies here, a lot of our vendors that we use with Baggers and Brews and that we get parts from and stuff have stepped up. So a lot of people need to be recognized, and we're going to get to all that. We have a lot of time before the end of the year and even before our event, but a lot of people need to be recognized for stepping up and really contributing to trying to raise money. But yeah, I think we're at 10.5 ish, something like that, with a lot of time to go. So if you can share this information with your friends, family, whoever, any people that ride, for those of you that are in side chat, share the info as much as possible, get people to come and help and donate. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And it's again, it's been crazy. Oh, hold on. Look who just showed up.
Oi. One of those crazy Canadian Brit weirdos. He would totally try to freaking ride up your freaking stairs. 100% this guy.
So Stevie, listen, we know you love Sturgis. Here, I'm going to post it again, even though I just posted it, but you just rolled in. Click this link, donate $20 for a chance to win to stay at the Iron Horse. And you're looking at the owners of the Iron Horse.
Yeah.
So Military Biker is our Canadian buddy who is actually British.
Yeah.
But he's in Canada.
Bradian. I mean, I don't know how it works. We used to call him frogs. French Canadian. I don't know what he is. Whatever. He's a Scouse.
He's not French.
Whatever. French, British. Over there.
Same thing.
It's all the same thing. They all needed our help when it came down to it. You know what I mean?
He says,
damn foreigners.
I'm on it like a tramp on chips.
I don't know what that means, man. That again, that's some foreign shit that I don't understand. What kind, like hookers, like potato chips, or or is that French fries? Because I know you guys call chips French fries or potatoes. I don't know. I don't
See,
know.
all of a sudden, Scouts comes in, everybody speaks British. Bert needs a glassing.
Yeah.
And Droop's going to give it to you.
Yeah. All right, little fella. Speaking of hobbits, what's up, Droop? All right. They're mesmerized with our stupidity at this point.
I love it.
Oh, no, hey,
We gotta go.
hey, no. Before we go anywhere else, you guys represent, talked about a lot of people that deserve respect for what they're doing. It all comes down to the work you guys have done. And that's what you need to be recognized as well, because you guys put enough for this and saying this is what we're dedicating our year to. Props to you guys. Like that's the rest of us are doing it, in conjunction with other things we're doing, but you guys have literally dedicated your whole year to this. And so respect to you guys.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
We appreciate it. I think everybody in here, you guys, the side chat, everybody will agree that our vets and our first responders, whether it's American or Scouts' British friends or Canadians, whatever, like none of them get really what they deserve, and it's kind of up to us because our governments don't always do what's right. So us as civilians really need to step up and kind of support these guys for what they do for us and the freedom that they grant us. I'm really privileged to be able to do it and honored to be able to do it and love being able to do it. Coming from the backgrounds that we come from with our fathers and stuff in the service that they've done. I didn't serve, kind of stealing a little quote from Adam Sandoval, if you didn't serve, step up and serve those that did. So that's what we're trying to do. And hey, man, however we can help, I'm just glad that we have a little bit of, we're not famous, but with the little platform we have with the people that we have that are dedicated and loyal to following and watching our stuff, if we can help a little bit, it's great.
And it's been, believe me, we've put a lot of thought into, how to conduct, doing charity work. And we've seen people who we think do it well. And we've seen people do it like we wouldn't necessarily want to do it.
Yeah.
And, that's one reason that when we're setting up, something like this, where you can donate money to win a chance to stay 3 nights at cycle rally in the world, you're going to Tunnel to Towers directly to donate that money instead of sending us a Venmo or sending us a check or sending anybody else a check and doing it that way. So it's we're serious about what we're doing, and we're grateful to be able to have the platform to do it, honestly.
Yeah. So gonna kind of close it out there. We really appreciate you guys coming on. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in person in the summer. But we really, really hugely appreciate everything you guys have done. And honestly, I if I didn't have an RV, I'd come stay at your place because it sounds amazing. I'm gonna come by the Eyewear or whatever and have some drinks either way. But highly recommend everybody to look into it if you want to go out there. Just thank you guys. I don't know. You got anything else?
No, that's it. I guess the internet's bad because.
Yeah, I apologize to everybody in the side chat. You guys, I don't know if you guys are messing with it. Bullshit us. So I don't know. I went upstairs. The ladies upstairs said the internet's been great all night. I don't know if you guys have shitty internet, if we have shitty. I don't know. I don't know what's up. We've never had this issue before, so I don't know if I believe you or not. But
he's coming through like Stephen Hawking.
Blame it on us.
It's island. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what's up with the internet. I apologize if it's us. I don't know what's up, but this has been a lot of fun. I've been able to understand and hear Greg and Andy all night, so that's been great. It's been a good time. Do you guys have any parting words, anything that you would like the people to know before we get off tonight?
I think the most important thing is that even if you don't want to say, just donate. I think that has been the biggest thing for me, is that listening to you guys talk about it over the last couple of weeks or months, I think that I love the heartfelt reason behind it. And we all know that our first responders and our veterans deserve a lot more. And this is a great way to support that. And you don't have to put Iron Horse in your donation or whatever. I think that's just a great way this is just an easy way for us to support those who might want to come to Sturgis eventually. And if you don't win, because it's only being drawn like the end of March, you still have plenty of time to book. So it's not the end of the world.
Right.
Still wait. You don't have to like feel like you're on the fence. You can it's the best of both worlds. You can donate and still stay if you don't win.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I would say, thank you all for being engaged and being here tonight, because these things only work and they only continue and they only make better progress because people are engaged and they care. If no one cares, no one pays attention, we don't get anywhere. We can't continue to be a business. We can't continue to support the motorcycle culture, motorcycle community. And we all know that community does amazing things. But if we don't continue to support it and keep it going, it's going to die. So thank you all for being engaged tonight. Appreciate you all. Beggars and Brews.
George, absolutely. I'm empty, but absolutely what he said, 100%. We appreciate all you guys. We appreciate you donating. We appreciate you watching, following, all of that stuff. All of it's helping out the cause. So thank you guys for watching tonight. Greg, Andy, if you guys can just hang on for a little bit as we close out so we can talk to you before we leave. Thank you guys. Thanks, everybody. There's still time, if you haven't already, to go donate. Whether you want to win the rooms, if you're not going to Sturgis, you can just donate just to donate. Share, like this, comment on this. I've told you guys from the door when we announced that we're doing this, I am going to be beating you guys over the head for pretty much the whole year. And I'm going to hold true to that. I don't care if you get tired of hearing about it, because if it reaches one new person every time I do it, it's worth it. So you're going to have to hear me talking about this for the next, 11 months?
Yes.
So it's going to happen. Our Thirsty Thursday beer reviews, a lot of those are going to be supplemented with me talking about the event and the rally, or the fundraising and all that stuff. So sorry, not sorry.
And also, for those of you who follow UCM Pigs,
yes,
I just wanted to, real quick before we wrap up, every year he does his ride to Valentine's, where you send him a letter with your postage, and he has it postmarked from Valentine's, Virginia.
Yeah, very cool.
This year he put out that any extra money left over would be donated to Tunnel of the Towers, which he does donate to annually.
Yep.
But any money left over from his Valentine's run will be donated to Tunnel of Towers in Baggers and Brewers' name, and $100.
He followed through. He donated $100 last week, so huge shout out to him.
Just from extra postage that people sent for Valentine's Day.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, that is it, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to continue to update you guys on what's going on with the event plans and the fundraising efforts and all of that. So, again, we thank you. We'll have, another live stream soon where we just BS and get drunk and act stupid. But we really appreciate you guys coming on to really talk about your place. I'm excited to come out and see your spot. I really am.
Awesome.
I thought drunk and stupid was tonight. Did I miss that?
No, this was super mild. If you didn't see the side chat, everybody said that I didn't drink anything. So,
as we're like,
as 5 on and like 5 before. Yeah. Good stuff, guys. Again, we really appreciate you guys. Have a great night. We'll see you guys in the summer. And thank you for contributing to their cause. Everybody else, good night. And we'll see you probably in a couple weeks with another live stream.
Later.
Later.
Good night.